This is Back for Blood. We're here on Xbox Series S, where the cooperative, basically Left 4 Dead 3 and all but the name experience provides what's actually a pretty smooth and decently well-running experience. So we're getting a dynamic resolution scaling setup. I think it's trying to target like 1440p, but we get like, like 1300p or something like that. It's dynamic, it scales, but it does actually look decently sharp in regards to the gameplay. It looks decently clean. Runs at 60 FPS. There's HDR support. There is crossplay, so you can play with other people on the different platforms. There is also different visual options to adjust the experience further under graphics, including Ridden field of view and the cleaner field of view, with 90 being the default. Let's crank that up to 110. And as you can tell, you just get a lot longer of a field of view. Keep in mind that you might notice that, maybe, I don't know, performance will be the thing, but you might notice visually that things decrease a little bit if you adjust the FOV. So keep that in mind. And we have to find all the little spots to break in order to do that. But we're going to reset the FOV because, well, I want the default experience. So I have a lot of fun with this one. I've thoroughly enjoyed my Back for Blood experience. And as I mentioned, it's basically Left 4 Dead 3 in all but the name. It can be a lot of fun as you go about doing all these different campaign missions, fighting these special infected, and trying to survive. The game can also be an incredible challenge. You do those harder difficulties, you are going to really feel, the swarm and the intensity of your enemies. Like, it is grueling to do, like, the nightmare runs, like, really, really quite challenging. It's a 4-player cooperative experience that you can now fully progress offline or online, because they've done the updates and stuff to fix that. And, yeah, it's kind of neat as you work, either alone or with, like, AI, as you try to survive these different campaign scenarios. There's actually a healthy amount of different levels that are present. There's great replayability in terms of not only working through the levels multiple times, but also in the fact that, hey, if you use these cards, so the game has this really neat card system, where you are unlocking these cards while you are working through the different missions, getting these points, and, you can unlock other things like cosmetic stuff using these, like, points as well, but, they're kind of like little mini battle pass supply run type things that you're doing, and you kind of work through these in this hub area. So this game's got like a hub, which is Christmas themed at the moment, where you basically kind of like rally up your squad, you start matchmaking, things like that. It's actually pretty cool. So, well, actually, is that a dagger? Right? No, we'll go with that one. So you got these cards, and these cards can like change things for the better or the worse. They can make, there could be like bad cards that make the infected kind of a little bit more hostile. There's like good cards, there's all kinds of different things. And they greatly change up your experience and what you have to deal with. They can improve how much health you have available to you. They can make it so that, I don't know, there's more of this special infected, or this thing's more deadly, and, that in itself is quite cool. And they use this area, this, like, central town, quite effectively across the different campaigns, because you kind of explore new areas. You might start out at the town and then go one way, and then start out the town another chapter and go a different way. And there's just, like, a lot of scalability to this one. And like I said, quite a lot of replayability. I just love how dynamic this is, and, changing this one is too, as you're constantly dealing with new enemies and special infected, and just trying to survive. And it's very co-op focused. Like, you actually can work effectively as a team to get things done, and I think that's quite cool. There's a variety of different characters you could play as too. Kind of unlock characters once you get through that first act, and they all have their different quirks, and they all talk to each other. So you can actually get a little bit more, I guess, story bit details as you see these characters, deal with one another and deal with the infected. I think that's quite cool. So like Left 4 Dead, you have a bunch of different skills. You got a couple weapons. You've got these different abilities you use. You've got like a, like a Molotov or a distraction thing. You've got some health stuff, and there's a lot of variables to that element of the game. So you're primarily doing the campaign and working through it multiple times, and there's different like scenarios and randomness to that as well. But there's also this really cool mode that's like a swarm mode. So this is a competitive multiplayer mode, where they've taken like sections of maps and they've cut them off, and you basically go back and forth as, the Ridden, playing as the Ridden, or playing as the survivors. And you're trying to eliminate one another in this like tight arena that gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And it's actually like a really, really cool mode that I had an absolute ton of fun playing. It really is cool. It's strangely strategic, and you gotta be smart about like your cards and your teamwork. It's really neat. A lot of this game is actually quite neat and a lot of fun. And again, like visually, it looks pretty good on the Series S. I am pleasantly surprised by what this has to offer on here. I didn't anticipate them actually getting, you know, this sort of like quality on it, like visually. It's definitely a scenario where the Series S is, I think, punching a little bit above its expected weight. You know, it's got the density of the special infected, it's got the visual scope of the world. It all handles quite well. Oh, jeez. Yeah, okay. Oh, there goes that. So you got all these different like locations you visit. There's different, you know, setups and scenarios within the different places you end up battling. There's like a library. There's like rooftops. There's weird hive places. The story is a little interesting too, a little messed up and a little bit crazy, but that's like kind of the fun thing of this one is it's just a wild ride. They changed things up a little bit from Left 4 Dead, but at its core, that's exactly what this is. It just kind of, you know, it continues those events. Oh geez. It does some new fun things with it. I think they definitely handled this one well. I think I continue to kind of enjoy what it has to offer. You know, it's something I feel like I can play over and over and over again and just have a great time with it. You know, I like Left 4 Dead. I like this one quite a bit. And you know, you might sit here and just continue to like compare the two, but the biggest thing is it's Left 4 Dead-like, and I think it handles its take on the genre quite well. It's a fun cooperative time. You know, I've sat there, I've played through the campaign multiple times with people. Oh, that's kind of cool. They got like reindeer ears. That's neat. And you know, it's just got like all these quirks and all these like fun weirdness things to it. I do think the long term of this one is going to matter quite a bit in regards to, you know, kind of keeping things fresh, because this is something that I believe they will be doing a lot of post-launch support for, and hopefully really kind of keeping the randomness and the intensity of it going. Like, here's all the different levels, and there's actually like quite a chunky amount to this. Like, this is a decently lengthy story that you can play. Usually play as Holly, but that does not seem to be the case as an option here now. Maybe we'll give her a whirl. I don't know if I've played as this character yet. We'll do my custom deck. And like I mentioned, a whole lot of this game is like the card system. Again, that adds so much randomness to what's going on. So you're seeing like we have the card system here, and it'd be like corruption cards. It's like, okay, are they more dangerous? Do we have a mission to go to? You know, what's going on here? Do you choose something that helps you? Do you choose something that's a little negative? Well, I guess a lot of this is like kind of preset almost, but this stuff makes a big deal here too. It's like, do I want more health? Do I want to have more of an offensive inventory? Do I want to help out the team? Do I want to have more damage resistance? You know, like what kind of dimensions do I want to really add to our battle here? And you get, like, I got a lot of cards there. That's because we've progressed so much. But like normally you gotta like build up your card base over like an act. You know, you gotta make it more effective, and then you got the store where you can buy new things that can help you out in order to battle stuff, and you're constantly having to get new equipment and everything like that. They do a really great job with this one in regards to offering different like locations and places for you to visit and different challenges, and it's just, it really is a lot of fun. Like seriously, I had a really great time sitting there playing through this, and I've done, you know, multiple streams of it over and over, and I really do find the value in this one, and it's a really good time. It honestly is. You know, there's a certain level of enjoyment out of this that I just truly find to be unique, in that you can just play it like over and over and over again, and it doesn't really seem to get that bored. Should I actually kind of just put that on here? Nice. I forgot to buy some ammo, because ammo is kind of important, and you run out of it a lot. Like, these guys can be pretty meaty. And, you know, it could be, like I said, decently challenging. Even on, like, the basic difficulty, there are some really grueling segments to it, depending on, you know, your team. That's a big part of this game, too, is, like, how does your team interact with each other? You know, how effective are they as a squad? That can change your enjoyment a lot, too. And when you're doing those hard difficulties, you really, really need to actually coordinate and handle things, or otherwise you are going to have some severe issues dealing with this one. Like, it is not a friendly, easygoing game, that's for sure. And you can pick up lots of things in the environment too, just like in Left 4 Dead. You know, we're kind of talking about like picking up like things like you know, the Molotovs and stuff like that. But you can also pick up the currency in order to, you know, kind of be able to buy more things. You can pick up new cards while you're playing. There's little like even card buy station options that come up occasionally. And I think that in itself is really quite cool. And I think it, you know, like I've been saying, it looks pretty cool, but also like aesthetically, I think it's got this nice modern gritty look that I think is a good upgrade over the existing, you know, kind of mechanics and style of Left 4 Dead. It does some new things, right? But it also feels traditional, which I appreciate a lot of, because you know, I think like a lot of people, I really love the Left 4 Dead games. And this isn't necessarily trying to replace them, but it's like a nice new option for you to play and enjoy, and I think they did a splendid job of continuing that legacy. And then also surprising because, yeah, I'm actually surprised how much fun I've had sitting here battling this, you know, battling in this game with, is that, oh, those are just skulls, that's terrifying. Battling with, you know, friends, or by myself, with randoms, you know, there's always something crazy and wild going on in this, and that's what keeps it so intriguing. Oh, and weapon ammo management is a big thing here, where you kind of don't need to take ammo you don't need. And then there's the toolkit stuff. So some of the toolkit stuff will allow you to basically like open up special rooms, or maybe open up like certain special weapons, and it's neat to have those variables there. Oh jeez, where are we? I think we got some more things to blow up out here. Oh yeah, it's this level thing. And the different challenges you have too, it's not just like the same, you know, sort of thing of just killing waves and getting to places. You actually have to, oh, and the environment can change too, like the atmosphere of it can be quite different. But there's like things like you have to collect stuff, or you have to destroy things, or you have to gather things, or you have to protect in waves. Like, they do actually vary it up, and it's not too repetitive, which I think is nice. You do things like escape from a giant like boat, to like around here. I think this is the one where you have to like collect limbs and stuff. It's a little humorous, that's for sure. They definitely, you know, they have some good laughs about this one. Oh, do I use the stun gun? I'm gonna use the stun gun. Ooh, my teammates are just like letting all my health go away here. Thanks for the help, guys. Unbelievable. You can also see like there's banter between the different characters, which I think is neat. You know, you don't really, like, it's quite dimensional, because you can actually hear little bits of like who these characters are, a little bit more of their personality behind this, right? Like, it's not just you know, random bodies that you're sort of jumping into. Like, these people obviously have had some sort of like crazy things going on, and they go through big moments and stuff, and they get some breakthrough times, and yeah, there actually is quite a bit of variety to that dialogue, which is kind of nice. And they're all messed up. I mean, anybody that survives a zombie apocalypse is it's gonna be really, really messed up. And I know I've been talking a lot about just like the campaign stuff, and I did mention the swarm mode, but seriously, the swarm mode is really, really enjoyable. I heavily suggest jumping in and doing some matches of it. It's really, really quite cool, and has its own deep levels of strategy to it that I think would surprise a lot of people. I don't know if it's maybe overlooked, which is a little bit disappointing, but, you know, seriously, like, you can have a good blast there, bending off against, like, really intense, imposing waves, and that in itself has a lot of replayability with a lot of maps. And that's the big thing here, like I was saying, is like longevity-wise, if they do actually keep supporting this game and keep putting out content and stuff, I think they've actually got like a really good title here and a good experience that you can have a lot of fun playing and tackling all of the problems that come and arise from it, right? Like, there can be some crazy hordes going on. And I've seen so much variation in how good your team is. Like, I've had some just awful teams where everything just falls apart, even on like the easiest of difficulty options. And I've had some other skilled teams just like absolutely dominate and decimate. So it depends on kind of the folks you get. It's like a run of the draw, you know. It's like, do you end up with teammates that actually getting things done, or are you out of luck? And your mileage will most certainly vary based on that kind of scenario here. But that is kind of essentially Back for Blood. You know, you've got a fun campaign that I've played through a couple times, few times through at this point, I want to say. And you can have fun with it, doing the different challenges, fending off against these enemy, like, monster things. Or you could do the Swarm mode, which is nice and competitive, and actually a little bit of a breath of fresh air. I would like them to bring back the traditional verses, though. That is something that I felt ever since I played, like, the beta, was kind of like, oh, I really, you know, sort of wish we had the traditional versus mode, so hopefully that becomes a thing at some point. I quite like that and appreciate that. But for now, I'm pretty happy with what we have. I'm intrigued to see where they go with this one. And I think Back for Blood is actually kind of a wild time. Thanks for reviving me. I've got Bob's arm! Bob's arm! So I don't have any other details, and enjoy some further gameplay if you want to see it in action. And, yeah, Back for Blood.
The menu today. Get back!
There.
Watch your aim.
You all right? See that?
I'm receiving reports of a large pack of Ridden in your
Looks like
area.
I'm getting in with your help after all, Bob. Shelter here!
Hurry up now!
Ugh, did that one's eyeball just come out? Going in.
Come on,
Come on! Some huntsman you are.
Now you just need to learn where to point it. Shoot for the head.
That was intense. We're so screwed.
No Quake did this.
Rover 2, this is Hope 1. What is your sit rep? Over?
You're not going to like this, but the weapons are gone and the room's wrecked.
God damn it, we needed those weapons. Continue to clean out the area while I come up with an alternative. We can't afford to let them get a foothold like that within our perimeter again. Hope 1 out.
This way! Something's off. I can feel it. Watch my back! Check your fire!
You okay?
Can't afford to have them multiplying beneath our feet. Cleaners, it's time to live up to your name.
No point hanging around. Ain't gonna smell any better if we wait.
I'm off the menu. I'm surrounded! Get down! They'll be back. They always come back. Yeah, I'm good. Gotta feeling things are gonna get ugly.
Need